blowing my mind just a little. Hi, welcome to Devs and Diaries. This is a weekly show we try to do here. We're the gameplay engineers here at Jackbox Games. You're joined here with me, Farhan, and my lovely co-host,
Michael.
Oh.
This is Devs and Diaries. We answer real questions from real people.
And this time, with Devil's Tea. Get it at your local tea place. I don't know where the hell I was going with this one.
Devil's Tea. That sounds like a slang term for marijuana.
It really does. It's
actually
not. I feel like the tea. See, my favorite thing about my favorite thing about slang is just how goofy things get. It's never just like right in front of you, because you have like lame things. Yeah. But then you have like wacky tobacco. Like, whoa! It reminds you of like car salesmen trying to get you stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta stop this topic immediately.
The teenage marketing demographic.
I know, right? Oh.
Hello everyone. People are saying hi in the chat. If you have any questions for us about any Jackbox Party Packs or development here at Jackbox, now is the time to ask. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat and we'll be sure to answer them.
So rude. We didn't even intro the show. Oh, this is Devs and Diaries. If you want any sort of advice, we're game devs here. If you want any sort of advice, and if you forget putting it at the top of the show, because usually we put it at the bottom. There's also a Google form. People submit questions all the time, and then we try to synthesize everything we learned here today and then give you some parting words of advice. So the next time we talk, we ponder these every single time. Yes, I wish we ponder them a little bit more.
We should take the diary. We should definitely make a coffee table book out of the.
The first 6 entries are all just like poop related, because this was before.
I mean, what do you talk about at parties where people are reading coffee table books? What a subset of. I'm sorry.
I mean, here's the thing about coffee. Coffee is a diuretic, right? So if you're not gonna poop at your table, what are you really doing?
I mean, I don't know. Seems kind of like you could do other stuff at a coffee table, like illustrate.
Oh, colorful conversation.
Oh, wow. Colorful illustration.
Well, what could you do? Well, I mean, you could do some finger painting. At that point, if we're talking about that.
I don't know. Yeah, finger painting is kind of look terrible, like awful.
I mean, but is it really the point to make it look good when you're finger painting? It's all about the art at that point. It's about like. It's about drawing. Drawing is the main thing.
Drawing! Yeah, I see. Okay, well allow it. We play some Drawful! Wow!
I should probably join the game, right? Like, that's a good idea.
Yes, you should. If you want to play some Drawful with us, you can head to stream discussion in the Jackbox Game Discord, where we will be dropping this room code. And you'll play live on the stream.
Yeah, you'll play along with us. And if you don't get in the game, you can play along with us in the audience. If that code will be up there soon once we get a full room. So
the Boyds asked if the avatars of the new games have official names a la TMP2 dolls, and I don't think they do. Usually, well, depends. Maybe the artists. I don't. On the games that I worked on, the 2 games I worked on, we do not have names internally. Sometimes, spoiler alert. Sometimes. Avatar names don't come about until people ask what they are.
Yeah.
I think, what was it, the Quiplash avatars? There was like a Google form that went around internally at the company to try and name them. I don't remember why we needed to do that even.
No, I think one of the fans asked, and then you're just like, all right, well, we might as well. I mean,
there's no reason not to.
I think my favorite one was we were trying to name the purple guy, and it was just like, oh, what do we want to name the purple guy? And the top choice was just like, I don't know, Purpley? And it's just like, okay. My favorite part about it is just like, we don't have names for these things. And then you're like, man, they must have thought of everything. No, it's all just nonsense. It's mostly just nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, in code, it's Avatar 0.
Avatar 1. Yeah, Avatar. I actually do name my avatars in the background. Really? I named all of them in Pole Mine because I started. So eventually there comes a point in the development cycle where your boy just straight up loses his mind. And then I'll just start naming them because Avatar 0 doesn't make any sense. So, you know, in Pole Mine, the crow in my head is called Edgar Allan Crow. And then I call the frog guy General Croak. I think he's fun. There is Kevin the Turtle.
Also, for avatars, we do have to come up with alt text for whatever the avatar is generally, especially if there's like an avatar select. in the lobby for a game. We need alt text for screen readers. So that can be a time where avatars get names, but a lot of times text descriptions are supposed to be more like joke-free and just like helpful for conveying visual information, as opposed to like, this is where you come up with your quippy pun name for the coffin. No, like people just want to know that it's a coffin-shaped quip avatar, for example.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes text descriptions or screen reader stuff will give a name to an avatar.
Sorry, I'm taking a second to draw. I got a little inspired.
Hey, sometimes the art speaks to you.
Yeah.
And you are but a vessel for its knowledge.
I'm gonna hit you guys with a hot milady. Look at that. Hey.
YouTube 101 asks, a subtitles question. Farhan, you made the subtitles work.
Oh, I did. I should be looking at our chat a little bit more. So YouTube 101 says, okay, so is the subtitles for the host accept prompts? Are they hard-coded into the game? Or the game reads some sort of data files in the folders that players can modify in case of translations for IRL friends? Is that possible? So, actually, the subtitles for the host, it's kind of like a mixed bag, actually. So, technically, in our data files, you can find the translation for it. It's hard to figure out which piece of VO matches which question
prompt.
Those
are just numbers.
But those are just numbers.
It's just like, it's like 4,000 something.
Yeah.
That'll be like the audio file that plays.
Yes.
And then we know how to reference some JSON file that has the subtitles based on that ID.
Exactly. So so the thing about translations is, technically, if you wanted to do it, you could. If you dug around the data files enough, you could probably get it working and like find what the VO is. You wouldn't be able to change the VO. Actually, if you even change the data file.
If you swap the audio file and find the data file that it's referencing for subtitle information, you could change both.
Right.
And I think that the way that host read audio is done primarily is like, it's just a number.
Yeah, look up this number.
Or something like that.
Look up this number, look up the file to play, and then read from that file that is also located within there too. So technically the VO is up for you. But I mean, this is going without like, hey, I don't know if we can condone modding our games.
I'm not a lawyer, but you own the game. Modifying the game files on your computer is fine. Like that's how that works. I know that much.
I mean,
giving that game to other people once you have modified it, like such that they don't have to buy the game. Now that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Don't do that.
I mean, I don't know.
I would like to continue to work here, so we need to make some amount of sales. I mean, we're fine, but like buy our games or something.
Yeah, no. I like the point of this stream. I don't know, man. Buy our games or something. Whatever. Just you see these games? Yeah, dude. Come on. Yeah. I mean, personally, my thoughts on modding has always been like, as a person who got into computer science, and
how can you not love How can you not love the modding community?
I love the modding community because, I mean, to be honest with you, that's how I got my start in video games. So, like, if it wasn't for modding and if I didn't condone that, then it would be a little weird. I mean,
I'm just not gonna get a lot of people with this one. I realize I'm failing, but it's okay.
You know, my goal for Drawful is never to get people to believe me. I just want people to understand my vision.
What were the most unexpected difficulties in developing or designing Jackbox games?
I think one of the more unexpected things. See, I feel like one of the more unexpected things with development is just how much art and sound goes in the game. I feel like I always underestimate how much art and sound goes in the game until it gets there. I have this
drawing is so close to problematic.
I know.
But it's not.
It's not at all.
It's definitely not.
100%.
But it seems like it is.
Right? It should.
It seems like it is.
It makes me uncomfortable, but it shouldn't. That's the problem. Actually, no, I got it. I know what it is. I 100% know what it is.
I think I know what it is.
That's some spider corn. Tell me it's not spider corn. Right? Right? A spider web with corn? I'll wait. I'll wait for moderation.
Yeah. Approve that one. Approve that one from me. Thank you.
High fructose corn scissors.
Oh, that's it.
Damn.
That's it. Oh, definitely.
Crap.
Dang, there was a question up in the chat a little bit. Oh, and I missed it.
Yeah,
Thank you. Were there shorter versions of the game in Pack 8, or were they always intended to be somewhat lengthy? Let's see. There were. The one answer I can have for you is there was definitely a version of Weapons Drawn that didn't have a cold case round. So after you selected, basic way that game works is you have all these murder cases, and then you vote on which of these 2 cases to actually investigate, and the one you don't vote on kind of gets put in a pool that then we all investigate. All of those in the cold case round. We originally didn't have that cold case round and just had, it was basically like you only had 1 shot to go through the cases, but we found that people really wanted to see who did all the murders. So we added that cold case round in. So that's definitely a case of them getting longer. Job was kind of always the same length. Yeah. Pole Mine, I remember having different numbers of rounds over the course of development.
Yeah, it actually started with 4. So I feel like, you know, you'd be shocked to hear this, but most of the time games start off being way longer on average than they end up being. Oh, hold up, let me...
Yeah, Weapons Drawn playtests would take like an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and like 30 minutes to get through a single game of Weapons Drawn. Arnie, the director of that game, would have like, it was a whole mess. Like, there were sometimes like maps where you would like move around.
There was a lot.
It took forever.
Yeah.
And then the first digital prototype, which got finished the day before her first milestone check-in, cut down a play session to like 20 minutes. And it was like, oh, this game works now. Like, it was like, incredible.
I mean, Pole Mine.
A hot day for a crucifixion.
Pole Mine was interesting because not only did it have a whole nother round, Pole Mine almost had a whole item system to it. Yeah,
really?
There was almost a whole item system to it before we cut it out early. And I mean, now I can talk about it now that the game development's over. Yeah. But when we first...
I'm not making more commits to that.
No, hell no. Hell no.
You can't make...
But, damn, Hot Day for Crucifixion got me. It got me hardcore.
I shouldn't have said it. I mean, I'm not going to get anyone with this, but...
The Ascension? Oh, once you said it, I already put in my vote. But Pole Mine was actually going to have this whole items... It was going to have like a whole item part of it. It was going to be like, everybody takes their own items into the mine with them, and then it did like different things. Like we were going to think of like, oh yeah, you know, other player, if they get it wrong, then they get an extra.
Feels not dissimilar from the gift system in TP2. Like,
it was exactly like that. Yeah. The difference was that, so originally the Pole Mine started off being, you have this game, like at any moment you could just get knocked out of the game, and then that was the end. So it wasn't that you played through all 3 rounds and then it ended. Eventually we found out that like, hey, you know what sucks? Not playing a video game. So we were like, all right, well, why don't we shift it entirely so that way you can actually play your 3 rounds, and instead of kicking you out, now we don't need the items because we don't need items to make it so you make it to the 3rd round. Right. Instead, let's form the game around you will always make it to the 3rd round, and how can we change that instead? So like a lot of the times, games do end up starting off like a lot longer or like completely different than where you started with.
Yeah, that round change, I remember kind of unlocking some of the fun for me in Pole Mine. Like, before the round change, like, I just had a lot more fun with it after.
Snowy Owl asks, what is the process of coming up with game concepts, and how long does it take sometimes to come up with the ideas? That is a great question, because we're actually in that process right now. We're coming up with game concepts right now, and how long does it take? It usually takes about like, I don't know, how would you say, like 3-4 months? 2-3 months, actually? Wish it was longer?
Yeah,
like
wish it was longer. And I think it's so hard. I think it's like different every. It's different every. Oh man, it's not time to stop. But it's different every party pack. So
yeah.
Especially because it all kind of like flows year to year. There are some years where a bunch of ideas get pitched. Not time. Yeah. Also, I tried to do an ellipses for that. Not time. That's for sure. Dot. And you can't enter ellipses in this game.
Really?
No, I kept it.
Game's broken.
Yeah.
Game's broken. Game sucks.
Fuck it.
Who made this game?
Isaac. So, sometimes if you have a bunch of ideas that got pitched for the previous party pack left over, like they didn't get greenlit and now they're just kind of kicking around, you might start the next year's pre-production or pitching cycle with like a bunch of like pans in the fire, as it were. Pots in the swords in the flame. But it depends a lot on the game how long an individual concept will take to get to a point where you can pitch it. Some games are dead simple, like, or simple twist on a thing. Other games are like, I don't know, gotta build a physics system to see how this one feels. So like,
and ends up possibly not even working.
Yeah, not even working. So it's like, depends a lot on the game that you want to make for timeline. And it's one of those things where paper prototyping helps a lot. If you can make a version of your thing on paper, that will help you figure out whether or not it's fun earlier than actually building a digital playable thing. Darn it.
Is there any reason why PoleMine isn't supported for no timers accessibility feature? Yeah, we talked about that for a while. One of it was time. One reason was time. Just testing new features sometimes takes a lot more time, so we just had to cut certain features, and no timers was one of them. The other thing we started to think about was, you know, one of the things about PoleMine is that the timer is a little critical. The whole point is, hold up. Oh, damn, dude.
I just want old eggs. I know it's wrong.
Okay. That's the thing. Yeah, no, old eggs is the best one. Why there isn't no timers? So we talked about that, and we realized that one of the core features of this game is actually pressure. We wanted such that you don't sit there, run the clock, do all that stuff. That's why a torch gets taken away if you take too much time. We kind of wanted to, the whole core feature of that game was pressure.
It doesn't auto-pick for you.
No, it doesn't auto-pick.
It just takes a torch. That's interesting. Yeah.
So instead, what we did was instead of having it so that there's no timers, we had it that if you even touched a button, it would take that. So there's no like, it's not like you can ever not make a choice. I think that was one of the critical things, and we realized that like pressure was one of the bigger parts of the game. We wanted to make sure that you constantly felt under pressure to make a choice, and actually originally the timer was even shorter. Originally the timer was only like 15 seconds for the fourth round, but we realized like that just wasn't even enough time to talk. So yeah, one of the core parts of that game was pressure and constantly making it like more of a pressure pot. One of the things that we talked about a lot was like, we want to make sure that the game is more of a, like, it's bubbling, and then there's a climax to it.
Yeah.
And when you had no timers, you kind of got away from that, which was, so we had to make that decision.
Yeah, the no timers was interesting. That was a mode that I kind of started, like that setting was an idea that has come from feedback, for especially for accessibility, for people who need, like literally just need more time than extended timers gives them. An option to turn off timers entirely so that you can take however much time you need. It makes sense for accessibility, so I started putting it in. Job was the easiest game ever to do this for. It's just voting timers and like creation moment timers. Very easy to do. The second game that I put this in was weapons drawn, and then it got more complicated basically right off the bat. There's that accusation timer in weapons drawn that hurries up if players mash a button. Like if you hit a button, the rate at which the timer changes increases. And yeah, well, we both got by Tiny Horse. Have you seen that SNL sketch with Timothée Chalamet about Tiny Horse? Oh, it's so good.
The Tiny Horse is familiar, but I don't know.
It is. It's one of the best things SNL has put out.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so good.
Okay, I need to watch this.
It is so good.
All right.
It is no way colored by affinity for Timothée Chalamet's work.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So, no timers actually ended up being really difficult to hook up for the accusation timer in Weapons Drawn, and we don't have that. So no timers in Weapons Drawn only affects the drawing and the guess naming moments. It doesn't affect the accusation moments because it's just too hard. It's not impossible. It's just we didn't have time for all of the modes. And that's one of those things that's just like, with infinite time, yes, I care about this thing and I want it to be there, but there's only so much time in the day.
Yeah, a lot of it is just trying to make sure you can get everything that, unfortunately, you have to make a call on what matters or what has the most effect given the time that you have, and it's just like some things just have to get cut and you're like, crap, I want to put this in, but what can I do? I'm sorry, my phone vibrates like 4 times and someone chooses a door. Is there a solution with that? I will look into that. If that's being problematic, I will actually look into that. Thanks for letting me know.
Does PhoneLine have like controller vibrating stuff?
It doesn't have controller vibrating stuff, but the controller does update with text descriptions. So maybe that's causing a vibration or something. Because the game updates you constantly. Like when it's a reveal, it tells you like, hey, this person, like this team lost items. This was a positive reveal or a negative reveal. They lost 1 torch. They didn't lose 1 torch. Yeah. And it gives you like the whole 9 yards, but in text description form. So maybe that's the problem. But definitely, I'll look into that. Is there a way to submit like a ticket?
I don't know. I already have something from this plan. Window for sure. That or window boots.
I was gonna do window attraction shoes. Damn it! All right, I'm screwed.
That first reveal. Oh, someone doubled down.
Man, I doubled down on the other one. It was lame.
That's unfortunate. Some bugs talk, but that's been resolved. Let's see. Do you use playtime game metrics to choose which games are most popular so they know which ones to build sequels to? I'm not going to get totally into business decisions. The biggest determining factor for whether or not we do a sequel is, can we come up with something that feels like a fresh take on the IP? Like, we don't ever do... Wow, congratulations,
Snowy!
Dang. Light Cup. Oh, Farhan. Oh, Farhan! Yeah!
That's why I'm employed, baby! That right there is why I have a job. I'm not good at programming.
Bottom of the leaderboard, too. That's amazing.
That's what I said. I'm really bad at this game. You don't understand. This is all I have, Michael. Don't take this from me.
Hey, no one can take that Light Cup from you.
That's all I can go for. I'm funny. I can't draw.
Yeah, I mean, because the most popular game, I hope so. The most popular games are, in general, I think, kind of what you expect in terms of Whiplash or Trivia Murder Party. Like, these are our most played games in terms of like metrics. Yeah. But, like, I don't know, we did Whiplash 3. We don't feel like we have, and we reworked the final round for Whiplash 3. I think it's by far the strongest final round in the Whiplash game. Like,
oh, the 3-peat?
Yeah. I think that is by far the strongest Whiplash final round. And that was the thing that we spent a lot of time designing and figuring out is, okay, if we want to do another Whiplash, what do we do for the final round, basically? So we're not going to make another Whiplash unless it has a reason to be. You know, like we have some sort of game design mechanic, like something that was left on the table that maybe we want a second shot at, or like that's the kind of stuff that I think really gets people excited to work on the thing.
I think definitely that is the biggest informer of our decisions, is whether I think people want to work on it more than anything else. So like if people have a good idea, then that trumps any sort of metrics. Like the metrics help, the metrics support an idea. Yeah. I feel. So it's like, oh, do we want to make a sequel? Like, if we want to make a sequel, what kind of sequels are an option, right? And that acts as a jumping off point, but I don't think that necessarily is a set in stone type thing. Like, we don't look at just metrics.
Like, we have player metrics, so we can say, you know, like, maybe we won't do a sequel to X, Y, or Z because it's like our least played game or whatever. And, you know, unless there's like a pretty big redesign around it, it's just not, like, our players just aren't enjoying or interfacing with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that is useful, but it's also like, I think the real strength of the party pack from a design perspective, in my opinion, is that you might have a game that you know you really like, or that you know you like before even getting the pack because it's a sequel or whatever. But the nature of the variety pack means that you're going to try stuff that you might not have thought you would like ahead of time because it's already there. It's already in the list.
Yeah.
You know, might as well give this a shot.
You already paid for it.
Right, already paid for it. So I think it's a really fun spot to be designing things that it doesn't have to be everyone's cup of tea. Like you don't have to serve everyone with a specific game. And there's a little bit of like safety and cushion in that. Like people will still have fun with the party pack because there's Quiplash or whatever, but you might be able to throw some weird nonsense in there and take some riskier plays. Anyways, here's Job.
I was gonna say, David, you ruined my segue. I was gonna say, it's just all part of the job. But job. Yeah, there you go. See, god damn it, Michael, you gotta ruin my segues. Terrible.
I should have known from the smirk on your face that you had something cooking.
I didn't know. Sorry. Yeah, it's the shit-eating grin and everything. Come on.
Darn.
That's okay. But the next game is Job if you want to join us. And, I also wanted to say one last thing because we're, coming towards the re-intro part of the show. If you're just joining us, this is Devs and Diaries, where we answer your questions. And we also kind of just hang out and play with you for a little bit.
Yeah, so, we're going to play some Party Pack 8 games that just came out by now on Steam. And every other platform ever. You can buy it direct through our website if you want. That helps us out. And if you have any questions about life at Jackbox Games or how game development works, or for advice,
honestly, anything. When we first started off, we didn't really even talk about game dev as much as we did just talk about life.
People have been asking a lot of questions today, but
I mean,
sometimes it's just about seen any good movies lately.
Oh, I watched a movie recently, but I actually have a question from our. I gotta write the answers to this. Hold on.
Ooh, this is that's going to be taken out of context, and I'm doing a good job giving people what they need here.
I don't know how to spell this word.
Alright. If you've never played Job before, this is us answering the icebreakers that will then be used later to answer job interview questions. New motivational poster, responsibility, collaboration is carried. Much like that iceberg upon the water. Simplicity, get a mother.
Okay, I love that feature so much.
I was at the Secretary of State earlier today getting a new driver's license.
Yep.
And they still have inspirational posters.
Yes.
Straight up, every employee has 2 monitors. One monitor is their work, and a second full-size monitor is cycling motivational posters.
I love it.
Unironic, achievement. Something.
It's the thing you get.
It's just, I can't believe.
It's so good.
They're still doing it.
My favorite part, oh my god. My favorite achievement poster, for one, was back when that was the craze, it's this little puppy that's pointing to the camera, and the top text is it was who's the man, and then the bottom text was you the man, and I love it. It made me so happy. It was this little pupperino just pointing. It was great. I love it. And they don't have fingers, so yeah, they do the whole politician point. It's so cute. It was the best. Oh man. But I will say, I love the inspirational posters so much. Yeah, there's something about that format.
What a good thing.
It's such a good bit.
Yeah. Oh god, there's maybe a whole game in that. Who knows? But get a mother.
Oh my god. While we're doing on our job part, regardless of how reactions end up being to it, do you recommend occasionally doing projects that are more crazy and experimental from the norm? This is from our Google form questions. My short answer is hell yeah, but I will explain after I do my resume.
Learning. Finish upload.
I think Farhan. Oh, Lemon for Lol says, I think Farhan voiced one of the avatars in Weapons Drawn. I believe it was the mayor. Tell me, what was the voice inspiration? If so, what was it? I am so happy you asked this because I spent an entire afternoon trying to figure out what the hell I wanted to do and why am I being asked to be a voice actor. A little fun fact about that, I got a message the day before I was supposed to...
I was a kid and a guy.
Yes, I was a kid and a guy. I do love this game. There's something about this game that's so simple, that's so wonderful.
That feels like an evolution of the Two Kids in a Trench Coat.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, it does.
How's a kid and a guy?
How's a kid and a guy? Two kids, two men in a van or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, two guys in a van.
Oh, the Jackbox.
Woo!
The Jackbox. You got the audience vote on that.
I did.
I didn't vote for you.
Thank you. I can't vote on you. I can't count on your vote in the next election, which is one of the lines in as the mayor. But what was the voice inspiration? It was a preacher mixed with Blanche Devereaux from the Golden Girls, actually. I'm not joking. Because I was like, I wanted to do the raspiness of like a pastor or like somebody that was like a little skeevier. No, I'm not saying pastors are skeevy. Sorry, that sounds weird. But like somebody with like that southern skeevy, like the, yeah, I'm gonna get you. You know, like something. I'm gonna come over there and show you what for. But I wanted it to be like a little bit more softer.
This southern person is also in the mob.
Oh yeah, for sure. So it was like, oh, you know, we're gonna go out and get some peaches. But like this is where we started, and then I was like, well, what if we added in like the charm / like the softness of Blanche Devereaux, so that's where it went from like raspy to the well, I never. So then you got to like a weird hybrid of a pastor and Marge Simpson. So then it's just like, well, now I love the young people, and so it went from like that to there. So it's Blanche Devereaux mixed with a pastor. That's short answer.
You have just gone through 4 or 5 different characters that should not be around kids.
Oh, none should be around kids. They're all problematic.
I burp bread playing games on my phone. Sometimes you just get a good answer. Good job, Egg.
Out of all the party packs, what are your favorite hosts? I actually really do love Laverne Cavern, and now that I've heard her voice for like probably 10 hours nonetheless, maybe that just might be Stockholm Syndrome, but I really do love Laverne Cavern.
Yeah. Cookie Dylan. Your question. I can't answer it.
I'm not gonna answer.
Yeah,
oh, man.
The Job Easter eggs, Owen Watson especially did a really good job of hiding a bunch of, I don't know if it's really hiding, putting a bunch of internal references to other games. And actually, Brooke Wright had the idea the director had the idea to make the avatars just reference other kind of like icons or iconography from other games. And then Owen had the idea of those, like, we call them gags, things that happen while you're writing or composing. To reference those other games, like, I mean, there's an Mapper City one, and
yeah,
a bunch of
one of my favorite references is in this game is, I didn't even know this until now. There's Captain Chuck in the robot.
Yeah, within the robot.
Yeah, for people who, basically everyone who doesn't know this, we have a video robot that one of our coworkers used to use and just like scoot around the office.
Back when only one person was working.
Right, yeah. When we only have to manage one person.
Back when we had a single remote employee, our VP of editorial, is that Andy's title?
I think so.
I think our VP of editorial, Andy, had, you know that wheelie robot that Edward Snowden uses? It's that. There's that.
Edward Snowden uses it too?
Yeah, like whenever he gives like talks at a conference or something.
Oh yeah, because he can't be in America?
Yeah, because he'll get arrested.
Yeah.
So, for the crimes.
You know, the things.
Yeah. I don't know, I follow him on Twitter, so I'm probably on some list.
I can't believe that he's allowed to have a Twitter.
Isn't that funny? He follows one account. It's an essay. That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
So, anyways, Andy Bot. was the name of Andy's digital remote-in robot that would... Anyways, that's... Oh my god.
Really?
And, well, yes, my first thing I did... One of the first things I did as an intern here was reboot AndyBot.
Really?
I was like, I walked up to AndyBot and then, some Slack message like, hey, can someone reboot AndyBot? And I was like, I can show initiative by rebooting. I don't know.
I'll do it. I'll reset you.
And then I turned it off and then back on, and then I was greeted with the VP's face, and I was just like, hi,
hello,
I'm new here, and then I left. Yeah, AndyBot. Anyways, Captain Chuck is in an AndyBot. I'm sure there's a generic.
It's my favorite gag. Oh, going back to the forum question.
Mostly because Bubs blushes. That's what I like so much.
Doing any more projects that are crazy or more experimental than the norm? Highly recommend it. Every single project that I've ever done that's been crazy and experimental has never amounted to anything productive. I will say this, but I will say the things that I've learned. No, I'm being serious. Yeah. The things I've learned have been insanely big. Like, I one time made a physics engine and because I wanted to see if I could make a physics engine using OpenGL. Amounted to literally nothing. That whole project was just a nightmare and a headache. But I learned a lot about dot products and like cross products. So like a lot of the physics stuff that I talk about now was actually because I was just goofing around in OpenGL and just making a physics engine.
Dot products. Oh, vector.
Vector rotation. Oh my lord. Oh my heavens.
Stop it.
Are you talking quaternions? I'll keep that for the bedroom.
Quaternions. No! That's my version of hell.
Mine too.
My version of hell is, here are the directions for escaping hell. It's all in vector math. And you just gotta find it that way.
Uh-oh.
Thank goodness the auto-submit for this game is really good. Otherwise, I would not get half of this.
I didn't. No. I didn't remember.
It was Andy Lemon, yes. Let's see.
I like that. Lemon for laws. You'll forget about this in a week. That was a fun one. That one was. Yeah. There was a lot of ad-lib lines when you're voice acting, which is a lot of fun too. Yeah. Highly recommend it if you want to do it.
It is so fun just to be in a recording booth.
Being characters. Oh yeah, being a character is a whole lot of fun. I've actually always wanted to voice act ever since I was a kid. So that was kind of like a weird mini dream that got achieved.
Now you have voice acting.
Yeah, a little.
Temperance, rhythm can't hurt you. As a drummer, rhythm can hurt you. I hate to break that one to y'all, but I have been hurt by the rhythm. And I will be hurt again.
Kyle Marquardt, I'm sorry for pronouncing that incorrectly, probably. I'm amazed you're paying your own games. That usually burns out most devs. You know, honestly, one thing is that I don't play our games after we make them. It takes me a while. I have a pretty big separation portion. But I feel like I've taken a big enough games. And also, a trick is, I don't play my own games. So, I never play Pole Mine. Like, we're playing Job right now. I'm not burned out because I literally haven't seen this game before. So, for me, it very much is just like you guys. Like, when these games get released, I'm playing them for the first time, much like you guys sometimes. Like, I don't think I played Weapons Drawn until pretty much it got shipped.
Yeah, it's interesting. Since starting to, because I played Jackbox Games in social environments before working here, and since working here, I really don't play them all that much. You play the game so much at work. Like, there's some amount of Jackbox Games that is too much. I don't know what it is, but there's some amount. And the amount that we play it at work, I think it's not that it's not fun to play at work. It's just that also playing the same game again later, oftentimes, like, that's why, I think that's probably why the Pole Line is so fun to me, is that I played it 3 times over the course of development. Mm-hmm. And now when I play it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this game is so good. But like, I don't know, Weapons Drawn, I've played it so many times. Like, I don't want to do another, because in my head it's a playtest. I don't want to do another Weapons Drawn playtest.
I know that.
I don't need it.
That's very true. Like, you start looking at games like work. I mean, heck, even games that I play outside of work, it does take a little bit to try to like play video games that even aren't your own games.
Yeah.
I also do feel that our games are a little bit easier because you can kind of just not really pay that much attention to our games and
you can half play our games. And they'll play themselves if you just put a couple seconds of effort in to like some creation moments.
Yep.
A lot of times they'll just keep running
Yep,
in the background, which is great for a lot of like social environments or whatever. Has QA ever shocked you with a bug, exploit, or feedback? Yeah. We had one of these. I mean, I would say a shocking one of late was we were getting hangs in. We were getting hangs in like 3 out of the 5 games, I think. If you submitted all of your answers in the last second of the timer, then the game would just hang. And that bug has been present since Party Pack 7. So Party Pack 7 has like the same issue, and it's just like, oh, it's just sad. Luckily, it's fixed on all Party Pack 8 releases now. Yeah. So like that's good, but Party Pack 7 definitely still has that bug. And it's just like, you know, with infinite time, you will find all these bugs, but like sometimes they just come in. And this is not me saying QA should have found it earlier. It's just at all, truly. Just sometimes they find a bug and you're like, oh god.
Oh yeah.
And because it's all our fault.
That's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part about computers is that they don't do anything you don't tell them to do.
Yep.
So whenever they break and you're like, oh, I can't believe you've done this to me. It's like, no,
I did this to me.
I'm the one who said that. Yeah.
It really is like the Spider-Man meme. Like the second you screw up, you're like, where did I screw up? And you're just like looking in the mirror, pointing at yourself, and like, oh. I hate myself. Oh man, that's the see in Champed Up. That was mine. Champed Up. I want to say like a week or 2 before we shipped the Nintendo Switch. Lines just stopped showing up. Like the drawings were not showing up. So I was pretty shooketh at that point because I was like, how did we not find this earlier? Also, like,
also we still have to ship this game.
You're right. Like, So yeah, no, I've been shocked by a bug or exploit before. Like I think early on in testing, when I was trying to push it to its limits, I was like, okay, well I drew like 1,000 lines or something, or I drew like 200 lines. There's no way that this is gonna be a problem. It was a problem. It was like 100% a problem. So yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all take breaks. Sometimes. I take midday naps nowadays. That's pretty nice.
These days, in this like more experimental game ideation time, it's like, I don't know, whatever you need to do to get your creative thoughts flowing, basically. In terms of hours, but when we're in mid-production, not really.
I mean, Michael got me into rock climbing, so that was a cool break.
Well, yeah, we're starting a rock climbing club here.
Yeah, hopefully that's gonna be good. I need to still pick up some tickets for the gym in the area, but that's a conversation for off stream.
Yeah, we don't
you guys don't need to know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Hell yeah! All right, cool. So I'm gonna have to pay. All right, BRB. I'm gonna go rock climbing real quick. Oh man.
Yeah, those hangs. Yeah, the hangs are. I can see how they're hard to trigger, but at the same time, it feels like people are often rushing to get their answers in right at the end of the timer, anyways. So like,
it's more common than you think.
Yeah.
I'm
sure you don't know yet, but what game do you devs want in Pack 9? I have a game idea that I'm working on that I really want in it, but I'm not going to tell you about that. You're just going to have to wait and see if it makes it. Probably won't, but yeah.
I mean, it's kind of fun. I need to.
Kind of fun, but no one's played it, and I have like at least two more. I work on it before I can play this for sure.
I need to talk to you about physics things at some point.
Yeah,
but I also need to get the fucking. Also, pay attention in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's see. An exploit that QA has found. I'm trying to think. Because often our games don't really have like exploitable mechanics per se, but I'm trying to think.
I feel like the main exploitable mechanic is if you like break the controller and send data that is not expected.
That's interesting, yeah. Like, and actually we talked about, I was gonna say this earlier with modding. So Job, this is fine to say. Job has a thing where you can use words from the prompts and instructions, not just words like from your stash, is what we call like the tiles. And we kind of purposefully left kind of some room there for people to enter. If they were just sending their own messages, they can enter whatever strings they want as part of submission.
Mm-hmm.
We then take those, sanitize them, run them through. If you have text filtering on, we filter whatever words come in. So we're still doing that filtering work in case and it'll go through moderation in case you're worried about moderation or text filtering. Those systems are still in use for that. But we kind of purposefully left, I guess you could say, an exploit in that people can enter kind of whatever arbitrary text they want for the interview questions. And so far I haven't seen anyone use it.
Really?
But it's there. If you want to exploit, if you want to build a custom job controller that has a keyboard for the interview question, you can do it.
I didn't
want to
know.
mod the game.
Oh
Man, no.
So it just takes any type of text. All right.
Yeah, like the way that word selection works for any of the stashes is just two pair. It's just an index pair, like index in this array inside this array. So it's just
got you. Okay, so you split it up by the array. Yeah.
But for the prompt words and stuff, the index is just -1, and the second parameter, instead of being another index, is the string. So you could potentially just put whatever strings you want.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, we still text filter them, and they still go through moderation. So it's not like it's not like a vulnerability for harassment, but it is a kind of like purposeful. Hey, if you want to mod the controller, there's this way to do it. I'd like to see someone do it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Modding things is always fun. You know, did I ever tell you about how I got into computer science?
No.
This is gonna be a blast from the past. If you guys have ever heard of a game called MapleStory, well, if you've heard of a game called MapleStory, actually the way I got into that game was I used to send packets to their server and vac hack and give myself God mode. I got banned. Multiple times, but there was a point where I made a damn.
Quiplash 17 beating a dead horse. That'd be great. I will be long gone by that point.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got into computer science because of actually modding a game. I was hacking MapleStory. That's how it all started.
That's a great yeah.
For real. I was like in 7th. I was like, no, I must have been like, no, I was like from 4th grade or something, 4th or 5th grade, because I learned about packet sending, and then I was just like, oh, okay, so if I manipulate the packets, like it comes from this game client. I don't know what that means, and there's a bunch of bytecode, and then it gets sent to a server. If I change that to a 7, it works.
Yeah.
And then it just kept doing things, and eventually I got banned, and I was just like, oh, well, you know, that would make sense. Okay, so I don't think I should be doing this anyways.
I am a kid. I want to vote.
Me too. Oh,
also, man. I am Britney Spears. I want money freedom with dick.
No!
Both are good.
I wanted freedom with...
is free now, right?
No.
No? What?
Still convert... So,
no!
I think she now had the ability to choose her own lawyer within the conservatorship, but I don't think she's 100% out yet.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a sad day.
We're talking about exploits. The conservatorship is being exploited. I'm using this as a political. What's happening? It's turning into a free Britney stream.
I want this cutlass, and who'd agree to?
Oh man, I like that.
I'm trying to figure out how. See, people love the death jokes.
They're funny.
It's so in right now.
They're funny. No, it's hilarious.
You know what else is in right now? Bone humor.
Bone humor?
In right now.
Oh, dude! Like, what time I have to go to the dentist?
2:30.
2:30. Oh, shoot!
I was thinking more along the lines of it's like, don't talk about my bones.
What? I'm so confused.
Right? Isn't it weird?
What the hell?
Isn't it weird that there's a little skeleton version of you inside of you that's moving around?
That
you are?
Is this what we're gonna? Oh,
just think about that. Right?
We're going to the Spookcast. All right. Do you remember you have a skeleton?
There's a skeleton following you around outside your body.
Oh, I love that. I love that Vine though. We're gonna tell me what kind of, or the TikTok where it's just like, we're gonna tell you what kind of bones you, or what kind of day you had based on the bones. So my dog has bones today. Today my dog has no bones. And he's just like, it's my favorite thing.
Bone humor is just so.
I mean,
because bones are so weird. It's so weird we have bones and we just don't talk about it enough.
And it's weird that there's some things that are bones that are not bones, like your ear.
Yeah,
your ear's not a bones, but
your nose is gonna. When you die and get buried in the ground, your nose is gonna go away, and then you're gonna have no nose when Hamlet holds your skull. Is it Hamlet? I didn't want to.
No, yeah.
It is Hamlet.
Last pure Yorick. Yeah, no, I got you, man. I got you. I'll pick it up.
I just didn't want to say the wrong character name for who does the holding, because that would really out me as not having seen Shakespeare.
No, for sure. Listen, man, you know what my favorite play is? Fucking Harrison. It's so good, dude.
Okay.
It's talking about Hamlet. Like messing up the name. It's like, oh, Harry.
Yeah, Potter? The boy!
The boy. Oh, the boys who lived.
That's good. That is good.
Listen, I got segues. I mean, that's a good starting salary. That's not bad.
That is not bad.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. I was not too far out in second, although me and Eggs.
I'm not last. That's my goal with these games.
AOL CD-ROMs. I just noticed.
It's such a good name.
And the only player you beat by 100 points. Wow, 100 point difference. It's quite close.
My thing with these games is, if you guys haven't noticed, I don't know how to multitask. So whenever we do these games, I usually either forget to enter an answer.
Yeah, my thing is that I've never actually had close human connection, so I've always been able to just do other stuff.
That's the best part, right? Like, it's just like, why would I make eye contact when there is 1080p right here, baby?
Yeah,
right?
Are you aware of the pixel density of this device?
Exactly.
It has the colors that my brain likes.
Oh my god, what was that? I'm sorry, I just got really heated. I don't need to be part of this conversation.
I can opt out of human interaction because of flashing lights
on
the screen.
Oh, look at that. Is that Jeff Bezos? I'm sorry. No, that's just...
Jeff Bezos retweeting me again. Is he even on Twitter?
I don't know. He's too busy being in space like a kid. Alright, well now we're at the part of the show where we synthesize everything we talked about.
So we talked about a lot today. We did a lot of talking about our process here. Oh, you have notes.
I take notes. I used to take notes back when it was just us two, and then we got into the office, and then I'm like, oh, I'm a freeform it. Yeah. Again, I don't have good memory, so I have to like slightly take notes on the side. But what have we talked about?
This is the end of our Devs and Diaries show. Thank you so much for playing. Now we are going to open up our shared private diary and kind of coalesce today's episode into some sort of life lesson, if you will. So let's see. What have we talked about today?
Okay. Well, I mean, the things I took notes on is don't look at my handwriting. It won't. I'm embarrassed.
You might have worse handwriting than me.
I was so
my handwriting is also awful.
It's bad. My handwriting is bad, but I was also I was trying to look either at the camera or at you while I take notes, so that way it doesn't look like I want it to be seamless.
That's a valid excuse. Yeah.
Right. So we talked about unexpected complexity, which could be that remember the bones, right? Listen, bones are unexpected complexity. We don't necessarily.
Bones are unexpected.
We could just be floppy. We are just neat presents.
No one expects a bone?
I don't like that.
Okay. Yes,
that has implications.
Yes, Kyle, we do have a database of Jack questions. I don't know if all the CD-ROM Jack questions are in the same spot, but we do have a way to keep track of all questions to make sure there's not.
Oh, actually, can we scroll up? What was last week's?
Oh yeah, let's revisit last week's.
Cobb Knight Rises. Oh, right, that was last week was so unhinged. That was awesome. Yeah. The kernels that we popped. That just robbed me along the way.
The kernels that we popped are the friends that just robbed me.
The just rob.
The just rob.
Okay, yeah, all right. The gallant Sir Galvin, Gwaine. Sorry. Alas, poor Yancy.
Uric.
Yes.
Von
Okay.
Liechtenstein. A Knight's Tale. Anyone? Heath Ledger. It was a
I haven't seen it.
movie holds up. Okay.
I haven't seen it. Game longer than it started. Well, when a game is longer than when it started. Tiny Horse with Timothy. Yep, that was in there.
Okay.
No timers for in-game accessibility because it wasn't core to the game's razor. Inspirational posters at the DMV.
Oh.
And then we have Edward Snowden bot. And then bugs that shock you. Oh, and also bones. I forgot to add in bones. That's on me.
Okay, so I feel like.
Okay.
See, Bones Longer Than Expected is also hilarious.
I like bone unexpected complexity game longer than a bone. I like that. I like the unexpected complexity in the bones. I think there's something here. Maybe like
unexpectedly complex bones, but like I still feel like if we're trying to move away from bone as a verb, I don't think there's any way you can have unexpected in the same sentence. Bone.
What about? How about? The bones of
oh,
like the
that,
bones
that does it. The
like
bones
the bones of yeah. So
makes
that's
it so that it's
so
definitely
it's
noun.
like
so well, sort of, but
the complex bones of an endeavor.
Okay, the complex bones of an endeavor. That's the title.
Yes,
sure.
that's the title.
And then
at last, poor Boric.
It would be fun to do this in Shakespearean.
Ooh, like
so
iambic pentameter?
Oh God!
I don't remember it. I just remember.
For soft, what light through yon.
You're right.
Alas, poor bugs from which we cannot escape. This one's too many syllables.
Okay.
Alas, poor bugs from which we shan't escape.
Oh.
Okay. Alas, alas, the bugs for which we shan't escape. Alas, the bugs for which we shan't escape. Something about cake. Cake rhymes with escape.
Well, I was trying to do.
Because there's that cake competition that's wrapping up
If we
today.
could change. Oh man, the cake competition's great.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish we could use a different word. Like, what was it? Alas, the bugs for which we shan't
escape.
Oh.
Escape.
And upon our tiny horse we shall escape.
Oh! That's great.
Oh.
That's really great.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I feel like escape and escape.
We can't use escape.
So we gotta do like he can't
escape. Partake.
Unless the bugs for
escape,
which we
partake. Colgate.
And upon our tiny horse which we feed Colgate.
Shake weight.
Shake weight. Oh. Wait a minute.
Portrait.
Alas, the bugs for weight we cannot shake, and upon our tiny horse, for upon we shall make our escape.
No,
Too long.
But
yeah, but we shall escape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alas, the bugs for weight we cannot shake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like WEAGHT. Like weight as in like the weight of my sins. Yeah.
Alas, the bugs for weight we cannot shake. Upon our tiny horse. Yeah, remove the and. Upon our tiny horse we shall escape.
We shall make our escape?
No,
is that too long?
I think that's too long,
escape,
right?
is it?
Alas, the bugs for weight we cannot shake. Upon our tiny horse we shall escape.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I like it. I think that's...
Take that, William Shakespeare!
That right there!
Nothing! You're dead! And I'm not!
Who the man? You the man! That's inspirational right there. I gotta show this picture. This is like my favorite thing. But that right there is Devs and Diaries. For
Thanks
anybody
so much for watching Devs and Diaries and playing along. Party Pack game out everywhere. Buy it on our website.
Yeah.
More money that way. And
yeah, and feel free. And this we'll be here
we have
next
a Google
week.
Form.
We have a Google Form. If you forgot to ask a question or something that's burning in the middle and you want to ask us about it, doesn't have to be about game dev. It could be literally about anything. Yeah. Feel free to drop it in our Google Form. It's on the Devs and Diaries. You search up Devs and Diaries where we put our diary entries. There's also a Google form to ask us questions. A bunch of people ask us questions in the middle of the week.
Join our Discord.
Yeah, and join our Discord. So, I guess with that, we'll bid you adieu.
I'm losing my mind
Just a little.